I want to show you the renovation. I feel like I've been talking about this for a while. We renovated the worship space in our church, which includes like pretty much everything, like painted the walls, redid the carpet, switched from pews to chairs, and of course upgraded our sound and lighting. So I want to show you all of that today in this video, and let's get into it. First things first, let's start with the sound booth. This is our sound booth. Beautiful. Before, it used to just end right here, so it was just this part right here, but we added on this whole front section because we want to add live streaming here. We aren't live streaming yet, but we plan on it in the future. So we've got like the bare bones of what we need to live stream. We just need to get a computer and a couple other things to actually make it happen. But this is functional right now. We're using this to send a signal from our cameras and a sound signal from our board to some TVs that we have down in the nursery, which is like down back behind the stage. And then we also have another building outside over here that we could use as like overflow or something like that if we needed it. But this is what we have for our live stream setup. First of all, we've got two PTZ cameras. So there's one like right here. I'll show it to you whenever I go up front on the stage. And then there's one over here as well. So we've got two PTZ cameras for right now, and those look like this. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. So we've kind of got like a wide shot on one of them, and then we'll probably use the other one for a closer shot on whoever's preaching or whoever's leading worship at the time. To control those PTC cameras, we've got a JVC RMLP 100. I don't know gear stuff that well, so forgive me if I get it wrong. We use that to just like pan, tilt, and zoom, hence the PTZ cameras. So that's what we use to control the cameras. For a switcher, we're using the Roland V60 HD. And so that just allows us to switch back and forth. You can see on our display monitor over here, I don't have the proper exposure, but yeah, switch back and forth between those two shots. That's what we have. These are just like distribution to the different TVs up here, which I'll show you in a second, and the TVs around our building. So that is our live streaming setup space. We're going to have probably try to tidy it up a little bit and then just have like a spot over here where somebody can sit at a computer and run all that stuff. Let's move on to our computer. Our computer, we need to upgrade this as well. We plan on doing that in the future. It's just like a 2015 iMac running Pro Presenter 6. So we'll probably upgrade that to like a Mac Mini, I would guess, with Pro Presenter 7 on it. So nothing too crazy right there. We still need to upgrade that. And then this is just our video switcher to get the signal from the iMac to all of the other TVs. And then here's our lighting console. So this is an ETC color source, and I've really liked this so far. It's pretty easy to use. We've got some cues set up. So all our sound guys do on Sunday, or sound lighting video guys do on Sunday, is I've got these cues set up, and they just go from pre-service to band to hymns. We're doing a blended service right now. And then to the sermon, and you can see as we flip through those, here is our band cue, just turns the lights off in the room and brings the spots up on the stage. For the hymns, we just have somebody leading right in the middle there. So we take the spots out on the side, go to the sermon here. Sermon just brings up the lights and brings the lights up on stage. That sort of stuff. You know how the lighting board works. So we'll go back to all the lights on in the room. So that is our lighting board, and I'll show you the lights that we have once we get up on stage. That's everything on this side of things. This is just like an extra area. I guess we could maybe put the computer over there for live streaming instead of cramming it all into here. That might be an option as well. And then over here, we have the soundboard, the fun stuff. We went with a Digico S21, and I really like this. We upgraded from an analog board. So, I mean, any upgrade from analog to digital is going to feel really good, but this feels really good. I really like the workflow on this. We've been able to use it like really quickly. Our sound guys aren't professional sound people, and they were nervous. I was nervous about using a digital board, but it's just so easy to get up and running. Once you know what you're doing, you got your EQ here on a channel, you got compression, you got a gate, and then of course you can send anything wherever you want to send it. That's probably all old hat for you guys, but we didn't have that before. So it's nice to just be able to route things wherever we wanted instead of having to unplug all the stuff in the back. So we've got that. Let's look at our wireless stuff down here, are our wireless units. We have some antennas up there. And then that runs down here to our wireless, which we're running a bunch of Sennheiser stuff, which I'll show you along the way here. So the first thing to look at is our headset mic for whoever's preaching on Sunday. This is a Sennheiser HSP4. Sounds really good. I'm happy with that. We run that into the Sennheiser EWG4. Once again, no problems with that. So that's been really good so far. That's what we've got there. We've got a bunch of these handheld mics. That's what the other wireless channels were. So we have 6 wireless channels total. We have 1 for the head-worn mic over there, and then we have 5 of these handheld mics. These are the Sennheiser E865s, and they sound really good, but I don't like them. They're annoying. Let me show you here. Let me turn it on the smallest power button in the world. I guess that's kind of good because they don't want you to accidentally hit it. But here's what I don't like. This battery indicator, which apparently I need to change the batteries on here. This battery indicator, it only has 3 bars on it. That means that there's no true halfway point. There's a big difference between like halfway and 2/3. Like if something's halfway, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to change those batteries out. But I can't do that on here because I don't know where halfway is. That was pretty much everything back at the sound booth. Now let's just take a quick look at our space. I'll try to put in a shot. Whenever I first started here at the church, I did like a vlog of my first week at this church, and I showed a lot of the inside of the space. So I'll try to show a comparison here. So here is what the old space looked like. So you can see red carpet on the floor. I'm trying to think about this from memory right now. So pews everywhere, carpet on stage. Yeah, it looked like a church from the 50s, and everybody here knew that. I'm not saying anything new. So that's why we decided to upgrade and renovate, and we switched out some nice, comfortable chairs for the pews. We painted the walls this nice gray color. The stage up there, I'll show you in a second. We've got like a nice rock face on the front of it where whoever's preaching stands, and we redid the flooring on that. And so let's move on to the video side of things here. Last time I did a tour of a church, people were like, you didn't show us the projectors. And I'm like, okay, well, they weren't anything that amazing in the first place. And these aren't that amazing either because they're nothing special. They're big, huge LG TVs. All right, what else do you need to know about them? This is like these things are huge. I think it's like 82 or 87 inches. We've got one here for this back half of the room. It was just a little bit too far to see up to those front ones. And then we have 2 more up there, same size, 82 or 87 inch. I can't remember what size they are. And then back here, we have the confidence monitor for the people on the stage. Right now we just have it showing whatever's on the main screens, but whenever we upgrade our computer back there, we'll probably switch to make that a true like stage display monitor. While we're looking at this back here, let's take a look at our PTZ cameras. There's one right there, which points towards whoever's preaching. And then we've also got one over here for a wide shot. So we can use those interchangeably for preaching, like a wide shot for preaching or wide shot for worship, whatever. So that is that side of things. Let's take a look at the lights while we're up here. Let me go back real quick and turn all the lights on. I'll be back in a second. All right, here is our lighting setup. We have 8 washes and 4 spots on this bar in front of our stage. They are all ETC lights. So we've got 8 ETC pars and 4 ETC spots. I'm not sure if the spots, I think the spots might be junior spots. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we've got up there. Very exciting for lighting. Covers our stage well. Oh, for lighting as well, we have like these drapes in the back that we've lit with color source, once again, ETC color source, CYCs. So we've got 2 of those. And then I guess for lighting, if we want to get real technical, we've got some LED tape behind the cross to light that up. So overall, I'm really happy with how the lighting turned out. The guy who installed all of this stuff was actually, I think, more of like a lighting guy than he was a sound guy. He had another guy who worked with him who did the sound side of things, but he was really into the lighting, so he really hooked us up well with that. While we're back here, speaking of sound, we upgraded our speakers as well. I'm not sure what we had before, but it was like 30 years old. So whatever it was some 30-year-old sound system. So we've upgraded to some EAW speakers. I'm not sure 100% what they are, but that's the brand. I'm not sure which model specifically. So we've got 3 speakers, like main speakers, and then we've got 2 subwoofers. We were just going to go with 1 subwoofer, but our room is kind of oddly shaped. It's like a T shape, because I guess they probably added on this part up here at some point in the past, and so it kind of widens out. So it's hard for it to cover with just 1 sub. So we have 2 subs, and those things get this place rocking. I had my brother play with me for a worship night in here, and we didn't have the subs. We had never used them before because usually it's just me leading from acoustic guitar right there on Sunday morning. Man, when those things got going, this place was shaking. We turned the sub down. You know it's loud whenever the bass player is like, am I too loud? It's like, this feels really loud. Usually bass players don't say that, but my brother said that, so that made me laugh. All right, let's take a look at our stage here. Got some nice new flooring here. We put in this ramp over here, and this is just like a gray kind of wood feel. Pretty nice. Let's take a look at my setup here, I guess. On Sunday morning, we've got 2 direct boxes leading into this stage pocket. We have a bunch of these stage pockets around. So the stage pockets have 3 XLR inputs and then 1 output for like a monitor or something, and then 2 Cat 5 or Cat 6 or whatever it is these days. Whatever the kids are using these days, we've got 2 of those in each of these stage pockets, and there's 3 of those along, or actually 4 of those along the front of the stage. So plenty of connectivity there. Over here, I just have 2 direct boxes. One of them is being fed my pad, which I've shown you before up in this video over here. So check that out if you're interested in my pad setup. And then I just plug into this direct box. I'm actually getting a new direct box today. That's why I'm at church right now, is because I'm waiting for a shipment to arrive that requires my signature. And that involves, I'll show that to you if it comes by the time I'm done filming this video or something like that. I'll show you the direct boxes and the extra stuff that I get. This is much later in the day, but the packages came that I was talking about. I may or may not be eating some candy because we got the stuff from Sweetwater. I'll show you real quick what I got. I haven't actually looked in here yet, but let's see. All right, this looks like it's all our mic cables. Just got like the Pro Audio mic cables, a bunch of those. I think they're like 25 feet. Got some instrument cables, a bunch of those. What else is in here? We got my favorite direct boxes, the Imp 2s, Whirlwinds. We got some SE V7s, got 4 of those. Anything else in this box? Oh, got some headphone extensions for the in-ears. And I think that's it in this box. Oh, we also got the classic SM57. We didn't have any of these when I got to this church, so picked one of those up. And then I think package number 2 down here is just microphone stands. Nothing exciting. That's what I got in the mail. This is what I'm using right now. We just had some old direct box at my church that I'm plugging into, and it works fine. Here's another one of these microphones that I showed you back at the sound booth, the Sennheiser E865. I use that for vocals. When I use in-ears, which I do sometimes, I haven't been using it right now because it's just me leading, so I'd rather hear the room in that instance. I'm fine with just me playing acoustic and singing. I don't need in-ears for that. But these are the Allen & Heath ME1s, which I've enjoyed using. They're pretty good. We got a bunch of these. I think these are these are Sennheiser 535s, SE 535 in-ears. Pretty good. Happy with those. Those are good. Those just get run, obviously, through Cat 5, Ethernet, whatever you call it, from the digital board back there. So we have 6 of those total if we need them, which is plenty for us. Let's go back to the stage boxes back here. So we have 2 of these stage boxes, and these are the Digico A16-8 stage boxes. So there are 16 inputs, 8 outputs, so plenty, because we've got one right there, and then we have one back there as well if we need 32 inputs. For some reason that would be a lot for us, but maybe we'll get there someday. Here at the pulpit, which we still need to switch out at some point. We're working on getting a new pulpit, but we're also looking for a pastor right now, so we're kind of waiting for a pastor to come before we make a decision on a pulpit, because that's kind of a personal choice for a pastor depending on what they want. This is just the one that we had in the old space, so we'll update that here soon. And then we've got another microphone here for if people come up and do announcements or stuff, or the lady that leads hymns right now uses that one. And then we just have a piano over here, which I'd like to switch out for a keyboard at some point in the future. Maybe we'll get around to that. We have a keyboard behind the stage, but we probably need to upgrade that as well. And then here is our other stage box back here. And these back here this is power for lighting, another floor pocket, and then this is more power and more connectors for like in-ear monitors and stuff. So we've got 2 of those pockets there, and then 2 of those pockets here as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can show you. This is my view on Sunday morning, just like this. So really happy with the upgrade, and yeah, that's what we've got. I don't think I missed anything. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to those. So there you have it. There was my upgraded worship space. As you know, I'm not super into gear. So I personally don't really care about all this stuff. I mean, I'm really grateful to have it, and it's been awesome to use, and it's definitely been an upgrade. But you also know that I just prefer to focus on the fundamentals of leading worship, and all of this is gravy on the cake, or icing on top of the mashed potatoes, or whatever they say. So yeah, it's cool, but don't get hung up on the gear. The gear is not what makes a worship setting. Even though we spent, however many thousands of dollars on this, it's not like our worship gatherings are suddenly like that much better now just because we bought a bunch of gear. It's because I focus on the fundamentals. Not trying to like brag here and say like, oh, our worship gatherings are amazing because I'm here. I'm just saying there hasn't been like this stuff is amazing, but if you can't afford this stuff, you saw what I used at my last church. I'll link the video. That was the last tech tour that I did. Like, it was probably a tenth of what this cost. And I'm the same worship leader here that I was there. So it's not like God can't move with that stuff, or if it's just you and an acoustic guitar in a house somewhere. So I just wanted to say that before I wrapped up the video. So if you want to focus on those fundamentals, I've got you covered. I put together free audio training called 5 Tips to Instantly Improve Your Worship Leading, where I'll walk you through 5 fundamentals that you need to know to instantly improve your worship leading. They aren't hard to do. You just have to be aware of them and make the effort to do them, and then you'll improve your worship leading. So check that out in the description below. Other than that, thanks so much for joining me. Until I see you in the next video, keep leading worship well.